This is a First and 10 Monday on Coaching Football with Brian Clee.
Welcome to this First and 10 Monday where we're going to talk about defending a 2x2 pro formation. I consider that to be pro when you got a tight end flanker with twins. This is once again talking with Coach Jeremiah Taylor from Lyon College down in Arkansas. He's going to present a couple plays out of, again, 2x2 pro. I'll be defending it with the 3-4, too high structure. This is a follow-up to defending him 2x2, what I call flex, where the Y is off. Some other coaches call it Y off. 2x2. By and large, I think a good side discussion is what's the difference between Y on and Y off? For us, we have not treated it differently. Ultimately, you're extending and giving a three-man surface right there with the guard tackle, and either if you call them an H or Y, we're going to defend that the exact same way. About the only thing that'll ever change anything, you take that Y and put them inside there. A lot of times we will back up an outside linebacker playing in a 9 technique to a 90 technique, and our free is going to move over a little bit, because that's probably his number one key, because he's the one potential vertical threat out of the box that can get vertical very quickly. So without any further discussion, let's get into the chalkboard or the huddle board between Coach Taylor and myself.
Day one, if we're doing some sort of like joint practice or something over the summer, or we're scrimmaging you and we have no idea who your personnel is, that's how we coach our kids to line up. Probably, I mean, it's pretty clear we're man to the tight end side. And then day one would be 2 read / palms to the boundary side there.
My first attack would probably be to overload your palm side. So my first one, I would have number one, he'd probably run a pipe. So the line is going to slide to the left. So the offensive left. So they're all going to slide to the left. Play fake will be to the left.
Tight end in the protection, or he releasing?
Nah, he's going to release. So he's going to go, he's going to run a dig. So he's going to run up, and then he'll square 90 degrees.
Running out of room on huddle, man. They're not letting you take a deep shot here.
See.
He's crossing at 18 there. Okay.
Yeah. And now number 2, he's got the speed out about 6 to 8.
Is number 1 fading?
Number 1's got the bench. So he's got a 4 slant, like 4-yard slant. And then he's going to go up.
He's breaking up.
He's going to, break up 4, and then he's going to break out 4 more yards.
You going play action on me?
Yeah.
Good call. And quarterback booting over that way, probably. Okay. I think the best thing about chalk talks is when we're honest and we say what's going to give us problems and stuff. The one thing that we probably will struggle with the most, obviously personnel. I mean, that's something you're always talking about. Corner's going to be manned up back there. I think he probably runs with that. Like, do you want to take a shot or not as the quarterback? I don't think we're inside leverage to start. I don't think we flat out get out leveraged. Our free, as much as we're manned up, we probably end up trailing that just a little bit. And then our boundary safety there, what I got labeled as D. If that's quick out, our corner. So you're doing a good job, in my opinion, of making sure you get a shot at this drag right here. Our corner, if our outside linebacker, especially with play action, we probably aren't getting hands on to. So the corner would alert that and jump it. So I think what you probably end up having, like that's going to be, you're going to have a good matchup there as far as leverage. Something that should probably be easy to, because again, the outside linebacker out, he's gonna pull his trigger and start looking for cutback. He might figure it out, but he's gonna be late to the party.
Now, what combinations? Because you said backside boundary, corner is probably going to run with that. So, do you think I should? You think I would change it to maybe a stop, since pretty much if he's going to play him man, so he'll run 8 yards vertically
Something like that.
and then stop at 8 yards, turn inside to the QB.
I think so. If in my experience, and I mean, I'm I've been a DB coach, and we see a little bit more run than pass with the teams on our schedule. I think you're in business if you have him break outside. So like if we got inside man coverage, you break outside. If your quarterback has the arm to make that throw, like that's something that our DBs, like we're going to give up the outside. Like we're asking, we basically coach our DBs in man, like we want to see the fade ball. You're taking away any inside break because that's the easier throw for the quarterback. So if the quarterback flat out has arm, the other thing, and it turns into a pass pro thing, but maybe you end up going some sort of post corner or a deep out there. That's something we're going to probably give enough cushion where you might end up having leverage on that. Obviously, the quarterback's rolling away, so that ends up being a little bit, the corner's not affected by the play action per se. At least he shouldn't be. He's going to be off the field pretty damn quick if he's seeing the play action, and he's paying attention to that when he's manned up. But yeah, stop. If he times that up, stop even the inside break. That might be there.
So number 2, he's going in like an orbit motion.
Okay.
So he'll go.
I saw that on your paper, and I thought that was what was coming first, man. Okay.
So he'll go around, and maybe you can help me. Probably, I don't know. I'm thinking about how to time it up. So got a glance from number 1 from the boundary.
Okay. That's always good.
It's a power with a glance and then green. So H, as he comes in more motion, I'm gonna try to time it up. I may have to do jet motion,
Okay.
and where he
Our
now.
what we've always done with motion, we've coached the quarterback up as that kid gets even with the tackle. That's when we want the ball snapped, and that's just
Okay.
a practice thing. It's making sure that you're getting that timing in practice during your group time. If he's even with the tackle, that's going to time up the motion pretty good.
So yeah, and then number 1 has hitch.
About 5 or 6 yards, right?
Yeah, 5 or 6,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna run power to the right.
Okay. Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. That motion, typically how we handle that, we're gonna treat you like you're turning into a two-back team. Um, and when we're in man, just because that splits real wide, we're never gonna ask the free to get out there and help on the hitch. Plus, we're inside leverage. We shouldn't have to help on the hitch. We'll sky the motion. Ultimately, the down safety, he's gonna be keying that pitch. The deeper safety is going to be keying your tight end. So it ends up becoming You know, how good's your double team?
Yeah, because
Getting back to
they're
that
gonna
backside
double team up to
linebacker.
the wheel.
Yep.
Yeah,
How good's that? And then I mean your guard should win. Damn. Like your your guard. Hopefully our linebacker's actually keying what he sees in front of him. He sees the guard down block. He should be filling. I mean, that's one of those things. You play in a less experienced linebacker. They get that they get that motion and they lean a little bit too much. If that happens, I mean, we are in trouble. We're in trouble if the linebacker's playing over the top of that guard. Big time trouble because your running back's gonna obviously got to win the rest of the blocks, but like cutback city, right? I mean, you being a
yeah.
running back coach, like that's bad to us. So
So reading that's the main thing for the backs is reading that puller, and if that backer, if he decides he wants to hit the play side, and yeah, we're gonna cut it back on the inside. So hopefully he's not a all American linebacker. He doesn't stuff the gap, so make us
mhm.
bounce it.
Well, and
So
in bouncing, I mean, you're for us to be completely sound without doing anything uh crazy with the front and whatnot. You know, we're counting on if we spill it, it's one on one with that safety. So it's uh that's not terrible, you know. Like we would ultimately about the one counter I guess we'd maybe have is telling our linebackers, yeah, you can go with the motion and really turning it into a 4-3 box on the motion where the oh my bad. We get two inside linebackers bracket in the guard, and then the boundary outside backer playing a cutback. You know, that'd be where we'd want to eventually be able to get.
and if
Which,
when now if they do motion, that would leave it open for number one for the glance.
yep, that's even in like me as defensive coordinator, I'm going to say, oh, I got chocolate. Like that's a whole nother level of thinking for the kids. Like I
Yeah.
got to work to inside leverage and take away that slant, that glance on the backside, and that's something that you know you're forcing the defense to do extra communicating. So that's always a good thing. Yep, exactly. Like that's a good idea putting that glance back there. Now, would you call that glance, or you're telling the quarterback, "Hey, peek at that real quick" as the you're starting your mesh, or
Yeah. I mean, always, especially if we got outside leverage, I would always say, that or number one to the field. If you like the matchup, go ahead and throw it out there.
okay,
More than likely, like you're saying, if the corner is going to play inside, then now we're going to turn it into like a stop route or a comeback. So
okay.
that way now we have the outer leverage, or we could run, like you
Well,
said,
and
a speed
something
out.
something
Huh?
something that's actually really nasty against man coverage. Luckily most teams don't do it. You give that hitch and then you whip outside, like that's not drawn right at all. I'm drawing the corner. You show that hitch, but then you turn it into a whip route out there. Like that corner is going to be thinking, "Hey, I'm all set." You set them down on the hitch. I'm going to come drive on it, and then oh shit, you know, I'll be trailing. Like that would potentially be there to the field side. So well, that's solid, man. That's setting up the glance. Like you're like, hot dang, all right, he took away the run. I got that
Yeah, like
glance
I
window.
haven't got I haven't gotten too many like chalkboards to be able to kind of see like what would happen or what they would do.
Yeah,
I
well,
have
oh, and that's a lot of times the coaches with egos and shit, and it's like, man, it's not how you learn. Like you assume
yeah
everybody's equal out there. Like some coaches, they get all big. Like, I mean, you'd be like, well, we got this guy. How are you going to match up? And that's a real world thing. But like
yeah
from X's and O's, from learning the game standpoint, assume like we all want to coach in big ass games where you're playing for some sort of championship, whether it's conference or getting in the playoffs and stuff like that. Well, you play those types of games, yeah. Both teams got dudes, man. Like,
yeah yeah. For me, it's more of okay, what works or what doesn't work, and how do I get the defense to break their rule? I've heard
Mhm.
always, if you can get the defense to break the rules,
Absolutely.
then you got something cooking. So
Or
for
the
me, it's
the
just, huh?
I've been the other thing about a defense, when you flat out know the rules of the defense, you're like, oh, this is how we put that. Hey, they're counting on that outside backer to be the cutback guy. We got the glance right now. They were counting on that free running out to the perimeter on the pitch. Well, he ain't going to be part of the fit. It's, hey, we're tracking our doubles to maybe that safety or whatever. It's knowing the rules of the defense too.
And
I
that's
think.
what I'm trying to do more. That's is study more defenses and understand their rules. So now this is same. Got the number 2 to the boundary, is going in a jet motion, and he's running a speed out. All right, number 1 to the boundary.
Okay.
He'll have a read. So depending on the safety, he's either going to run a bender or he's going to run a corner.
Field world, we get to inside leverage. Whether we do, that's a different story. Yeah, that's hard because I want to be on top as a DB. So like there's going to be a window in front of me. I can probably drive on it.
Is going to run. All right, so I call this route a dart. So it's like off the ball slant, but out towards the numbers. 45-degree angle. Yep. Kind of keep it going a
And
little
then
bit
just keep
longer.
going on it.
Number 1 to the field. He's got an MOR.
MOR, you said?
Yes.
What is MOR? Enlighten me.
Mandatory outside. So he's got a
Oh,
9 go
God, got
route.
it. He's clearing the damn corner out.
Yeah.
And that's what, yep, corner's there. This is solid against sky coverage. Like
Like it?
now, now in theory, I guess you know, does our safety follow his rule of, all right, you get the pitch fake or the jet, like that's yours. You got to keep outside leverage on it. This right here is a pain in the butt.
And then it's gonna be rip protection. So
Okay.
they're gonna slide rip to the right, 3-man slide to the right. That backside guard is gonna end up going with the slide since it's a zero technique.
Yep.
And then the
You're
back is
assuming the
gonna
outside
release to
backer
the
might
left.
come, something like that.
Now his rule is he's got um his release, if none of the backers show blitz, he's gonna go 4 yards over the ball.
Okay. Something like that. That's close. That's close. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that
And
I
now
think
that
our
that
linebackers.
tight end, the tight end number 2, he's probably gonna be a little bit shorter than that, because what I want him to do, the quarterback to do, is throw him upfield as he's looking back. You know what I'm saying? So he's
Thanks.
gonna be running at this angle, but he's not gonna
You're
run
expecting the
too
ball
far.
come out at about 8 to 10 yards.
Yeah, at that angle, because I'm hoping that either the free is gonna fly down and take the Omaha, the arrow route.
Yep, that we got to. Like that's our rules. We got to get there with him.
And with the
Like,
corner, with him bailing with the 9, the go route, that's going to leave that window for him to kind of catch it on an angle and then run
yep.
upfield.
Especially he
And if
catches it and
if
then
he
he
doesn't
keeps
like
working to
it,
the sideline after the catch.
yeah,
That's
yeah. So I want him to hit him like right at the numbers, and then he has enough room before he gets to the ticks to get
if
upfield.
if that's not all over on film, that's a first down. The first time you call that, man.
Yeah.
Like that's one of those like all week long. So now our overall rule for that outside linebacker, if you get an outside release and we don't have you on, we haven't said, hey, you're on a cannon, you're through C gap, or you're on a flat out dog, you're through D gap. If he's just playing his base 9 technique rules, in theory, he's supposed to fight that outside release. But the second that slips vertical, our outside linebacker's probably letting him run, so you got leverage there. I think our safety shows up and tackles. Like we get an attempt at a tackle before the tight end's scoring, before the Y scoring, but that's a first down. Our only real answer would eventually, hey man, they run this route just because that tight end, you've widened them. Like ideally he treats like any outside release, you treat that like a reach block. That's what we tell that kid. So ideally he widens it a little bit and then realizes, oh man, this guy ain't trying to block me. I'm going to turn and go. So that's about the only answer outside of rolling pre-snap to cover 3. But that's not something we are comfortable doing. So that's a good little route. Good little route. It's a sneaky way of running like a flood or levels concept, coach.
Yeah, I just sometimes I feel like instead of going up and vertical and allowing
Oh
the
yeah.
safeties to catch you,
Yeah.
right? Well, it's almost like the slant route. Instead of running, 3 yards and then getting in, it's
Mm-hmm.
allowing that corner to be able to get space and reduce the space. No, get off the line right now. So that's what I'm kind of thinking with this route right here. Is like we're not going to go up the field so that the safety can, one, get his eyes on us, two, be able to
Well,
condense
just
that.
get to your area code,
Yeah.
and
So
especially
now
with
it's
you,
like, hey, that's a dart. You're running a dart. Get there right now. And
especially
then
with
once
you
you get to
flooding,
about, yeah,
the coverage to that side, and it started off as, man coverage over there. Um, that is a little bit problematic. It's be something other thing to do, and then this opens up option routes for you. Is coaching that backside safety like you got to get to linebacker level and be head up, give that kid a two-way go, so that way maybe we can keep leverage and at the last second as the ball's thrown, undercut it. Like that'd be the only thing without again checking to cover 3, which is something that we don't do all the time. So you getting out, you're knowing our rules, and you're forcing us to play a coverage that it's not our bread and butter. You're breaking our rules a little bit. At least the rules we're good at. Uh, Normally it's the too high stuff that we're a little bit more comfortable with. Let's have problems and lose ball games in March, man. Like
I'm with it. We got still same formation, doubles. Uh, let's go doubles. Can we go doubles left? Can we just switch the tight end? Well, switch the
yep.
formation. So, yeah.
And you put where's the boundary here? Just so that way we shift it a little bit.
Be on the left hand.
Oh, you said left hash. Left hash. That's your
Well,
left.
you're right. As the offense, my left hand. So you're right. I'm saying you're moving it to the right
I'm
side.
correct.
You're correct.
Okay. Good stuff, Coach Taylor. All right, something like that. All right,
Yes.
here we go.
Okay. So tight end has a leak, so he's off the line right now.
And he's leaking out
To
to
the
your right.
sideline.
Oh,
Yeah.
to the sideline.
Yeah, to the sideline, to the left. Yeah. So just quick. Number one has a 8-yard stop.
Now he turning in or out? Obviously.
He's gonna turn out.
Okay, we'll put him in a little bit so he's got some room to operate. Okay, that's good against inside man leverage. Keep going.
All right. Number two,
Okay.
he's gonna go in motion. He's gonna go into play motion. So he'll go, not that far, but he'll end up over where your backer is at or your Bronco.
Yeah.
And then he's got an eliminator, so it's almost like uh, it's like a gator route. So he's gonna go about 6 yards vertical. He's gonna
Okay.
get on the inside shoulder of him and then end up vertical again. Like this.
Okay.
So
He's gonna break.
his job is
He's gonna
to,
break inside a little bit further than what I had.
yeah.
Okay.
So his job is to get inside and rub the upfield shoulder of that backer. And then the number one on that side, he has a lock fallout. So he's gonna run a go route to about 14 yards. If he beats him, he's gonna
Keep
keep it
going.
going. If he can't beat him, he's gonna fall it out at 14. So he's gonna like come back down stem.
Yep. Come right back down the
And
stairs.
then the back, he's actually gonna be in gun,
Okay. Which
gun
side?
right.
Gun right. Your right's over there.
Yeah. And then he's coming out of the backfield. He has an option route. So
We're not
pretty
wasting
much
any. Okay.
he's either gonna stop.
Is he playing off our outside backer?
Yeah.
Okay.
So depending on what he does, he's gonna go in or out. Or he could just stop right there, depending on if the backer bells.
Yep, yep. That motion, man. That motion's all right. So if you absolutely, I mean the leverage by our the D there, need to get off that. That's a little bit complicated for him. Getting back to like inside leverage because we're gonna match the motion. And he's got to take away the post. So that the fact he breaks horizontal for about 6 yards there, like we really got to work our horizontal stem. Probably one of those things like that's something we'd really focus on practice all week. I like our odds if that's on film. But that's a little bit like you're gonna have a one-on-one, 100%. And then just you utilizing that motion and getting the back out there in the option, that takes away. Normally, our outside backer is really, really concerned about trying to reroute your number two and push him into the safety's lap. The running back releasing out, now I don't know if we'd call it a fast three, but our kids initially, the running back goes out like that. The inside linebacker is going to yell push, push, push. And we're trying to get the inside linebacker to play underneath. You called that Eliminator, right?
Yeah.
That's a neat route name. That Eliminator, 100% that running back, you definitely have him on the check down because our middle linebacker, the MAC linebacker, his eyes probably going to wander initially to the tight end side just a little bit. I guess the one thing, but we don't do that often. That number two out right away, we could, in theory, I guess, our kids would not do this unless they were coached. Like there's no damn way unless we've been working on it in practice. Maybe we get that double team, maybe. Our free most likely, if that's just not practice, our free is just going to drop. So like you might, if that kid's equal speed to the guy that we got lined up at D, coach, you're gonna be able to take a shot as long as you don't run into the damn wheel like a knucklehead.
Yeah.
Don't run your ass into a reroute. Something you getting on your receivers coach, and receivers are always probably telling receivers, especially younger guys. So that is you're doing a good job attacking the middle field open there and making us work. So
Thank you, Coach.
yeah, this was fun, Coach Taylor.
If you think it would be fun to participate in a 1st and 10 Monday in some way, shape, or form, whether that is you presenting an offensive formation or two and how you would go about game planning against how I would try to defend that, and I'm going to exchange some ideas about how we're going to game plan to defend that offensive concept and those formations. Or if you want to flip that script and you want to have me present an offensive formation or two and some offensive concepts and how we're going to game plan for how you would go about trying to defend us, and you're exchanging your ideas about how to put together a defensive game plan to stop that, that'd be great. There's my contact information. Hit me up on Twitter, leave a comment down below, or shoot me an email.